Before I start yelling at you, because I know you've probably done nothing. 99% of you are innocent. I do want to say that, yeah, that direct could have been a lot more. I wish we could do like a full reset on our brains when it comes to these directs. Whenever we get one that doesn't really deliver, it makes everybody so angry. The vocal majority of people seem to be displeased. I stream the event myself and I have a live chat the whole time and everyone's just spamming L and Z and snooze and boring and sucks and lame and fail. The chat's just not having it. So it's so hard to walk away after seeing all of that and not getting it into your own head and thinking, oh yeah, that was awful and I should be mad. I should be rioting down the streets. I should be picketing in front of Nintendo's headquarters because that was the worst partner direct I've ever seen. But this is a standalone case. So can we just hard reset and look at this direct for what it is? It sucked. No. And I think even though a lot of it wasn't new, we actually got a look at a lot of really impressive games and things that the Switch 2 can do now. And I think people are just taking that for granted. And I really think that's the highlight here. Gameplay for Resident Evil and Pragmata, these are two gorgeous looking games running at, I believe, 60 FPS on the console. If you take a look at that Turok game, which is doing lighting effects and what I can only assume is ray tracing and some of the most gorgeous visuals I've seen in a handheld console format, and people just, they're not realizing what they're seeing is the Switch 2 truly showcasing its power and what it can give us this generation. And sure, some of these games might not be what you're looking for, but isn't it cool the Switch 2 can do this? Also, and I'm just ranting before we even get to the direct, I always see that, oh great, a bunch of games that I already played before or I can play on other consoles as well. And it's like, yeah, that's a partner direct. I mean, that's kind of what we're going for here. Why is it when Sony or Xbox do a showcase and all of the games are third party? Most of Xboxes are also on PlayStation. PlayStation's most likely on PC or other places. That's just what these events are. But when Nintendo does one, there's some weird expectation that every single game is supposed to be an exclusive, that every single game has to justify why they bought a Switch 2. It's just not how it works. Like, these showcases are for third party. It's for games that are other places coming to the console either day one or maybe old ports. But Pragmata and Resident Evil 9 and games like that, they're day one on the console, which is something that we haven't really been able to achieve with Nintendo and the Switch 1 or even with the Wii U and the Wii and for the last like 20 years. The last time I remember Nintendo being able to compete like this, not only in the visual aspect with their competition, but also in the release date aspect, was like GameCube. I just don't really know what we're doing here. You know, there's just so much doom and gloom that we can't even enjoy a partner direct. We can't even enjoy a few games being shown at us because it was boring. It was a little boring, but I'm on a tangent. Let's take a look at it and everything that it had and what I saw that I actually liked and thought was cool. We got a deeper look at orbitals to begin with, which, by the way, for everyone that's like, oh, I play these games, this is an exclusive. They're showcasing more of it here, which makes sense, as it is an exclusive game for the console. It does look like It Takes Two, but with a old school Cowboy Bebop, 80s and 90s Dragon Ball animation style. Honestly, it looks incredible. And if seeing more of this game upsets you, there's something wrong with you, because I am so excited every time I see this. And then I'm not gonna lie, we do get the classic Nintendo Direct effect here of you start strong and then immediately you land into like a graphic novel or something that typically does slow the pace of these directs, and they're not a great showing of what the console is capable of. And I'm sure there's a cult following, but cult followings don't normally make a big splash at a big public, you know, presentation. Hey, how's this direct going for you? Man, Stellar Blade, Red Dead Redemption 2, Metaphor? It was a crazy partner direct, wasn't it? I'm recording this on Tuesday. I have no idea. Look, it's the start of the month, which means I have sponsors. It's also a start of a brand new year, which means I have New Year's resolutions. And this year, just like so many of us, I know, it's a classic. Get into shape. But I gotta be honest, with a kid now who's 9 months, by the way, doing the podcast and my main channel, it's a lot. And there are days where I just don't have the time. But I still want to eat these balanced and nutritional meals that are high in protein and sometimes low in calories, depending on what my goals are for the day. Which is where Factor comes in. And I'm actually really excited to be working with Factor again because it's been a while. So I actually, and this is not even a lie, was about to go to the store because I'm out of food. And I was thinking to myself, I really don't have time for this today. And then I remembered I was supposed to do this sponsor spot
and I literally have food in my fridge. It's literally like 2 minutes. This is the whole thing. This is what makes this good for me. I don't gotta clean up. I don't gotta wash a plate. I am actually gonna wash a plate because I like to plate my food, but you don't have to. If you wanna eat out of the tray.
Oh, now you've summoned her.
600 calories. 600 calories. I am gonna need 2. I'm very hungry.
With Factor, you can enjoy over 100 rotating weekly options from meals and salads to breakfasts and shakes and more, all crafted with great taste and nutrition. Factor uses real food and real ingredients made without refined sugars or seed oils, no artificial colors or sweeteners. You got protein-packed meals for performance. Most of the meals deliver over 30 grams of complete protein. Factor has really high quality standards, banning over 175 ingredients and focused on nutrient-dense foods that support lasting energy, strength, and overall wellness. And with plans from high protein, calorie smart, low carb, and so many more. So if you want to taste what I've been tasting, why don't you head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code BeatEmUpsFB50 to get 50% off your first box and free breakfast for 1 year. That can't be right. I gotta read that again. I like this isn't even a bit. That's code BeatEmUps50 off at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free breakfast for 1 year. When I read that the first time, I thought it was one free breakfast item. It's breakfast for a year. Factor, I want this. Don't give it to them, give it to me. Thank you, Factor, for coming back and sponsoring. Thank you guys for checking out the links for sponsors when I have them. All right, well, I'm done eating here. Let's eat up more of this Nintendo Partner Direct. Then I think we move into another niche, but this soccer sequel game, this actually made a really big splash on the Switch 1 when it released. People really liked this game. So it getting a sequel, I think, is actually more exciting for a lot of people than you might realize. I don't really care. But I did recognize, oh, that was that game that did surprisingly well on Switch 1. Then we go into Tokyo Scramble. Scramble is probably the best word for this game because it's such a weird scramble of a mesh of a video game. At first, I was really excited. I mean, it looked kind of like Resident Evil, but with dinosaurs. It had a gritty, realistic-ish art style, but it's all stealth, it seems like. And it's a lot of trying to trick and trap these dinosaurs with a bunch of things and environmental hazards. It does look a bit clunky, and I'm not really sure if it's for me, but I appreciated, as far as I know, seeing something new and unique. Then Valheim, which I forgot was a thing. It's an old crafting survival game that's coming to the console. Again, I think another niche, I would say, another cult following, maybe. Hollow Knight 2 getting a Switch 2 edition, and it's a free upgrade. Then moving directly into another soccer game, and we're already a third of the way through. So you can see where that slow pacing is starting to hit people. And then we do get a look at Millennium Tales, which, to be fair, I played the demo, and I'm really excited for this game, but I also played the demo. Like, I've already played like 3 hours of this game. But the thing is that I forget sometimes too. These events aren't just supposed to be, hey, look at this new thing. Hey, look at this new reveal. Hey, world premiere, like Jeff Keighley likes to do. These are also like for the partners to showcase their games that are coming out soon and like, hey, reminding people, hey, remember that Millennium Tales that we revealed a year ago and that had a demo on the eShop? Yeah, you can play that in a couple months. It's almost out now. So it also acts as a reminder and a refresher for a lot of these games that are about to release, which again, it's paying tribute and respect to these third-party publishers that are actually releasing games on the console by helping promote them in directs, even if we've seen them before. Like, there's a purpose to that. You might watch every single direct. You might have your nose to the grindstone, your ear to the ground, but there's a lot of people watching this direct that hasn't really paid attention to Nintendo in the last 10 years. And this is the first time they're seeing the Superman Bomberman Collection 2R with a bonus boss rush minigame. Who cares? At this point, we're 12 minutes in. And I would say here is where the direct starts to hit its sweet spot into what I think this direct really showcases. And that's power, what we can expect to see for the Switch 2 moving forward. And I think that really is what this showcase is. These are the games that are going to push the Switch 2 to its limits visually, graphically, and performance-wise, because Nintendo are probably never going to do that. So this is where they showcase what the Switch 2 can do, not only to us, but to other developers and publishers that might be looking at putting their games on the console. And I think Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a great start to that, because this is an open world game in many aspects. And just look at it. Look at the visuals, look at the draw distances, like right out into the backgrounds. You have full clear resolutions while the action is happening in the forefront with all these particle effects and special animations. I mean, really a gorgeous looking game. I know a lot of people will look at this and they'll be like, oh, this is an old game. I mean, it released like 2 years ago. It's really not that old. Do you remember what it was like in the partner showcases for Switch 1 when we would get like Outer Worlds or Witcher 3? And it's like, yeah, those were exciting announcements, I guess, but they looked horrible. Now we're actually getting announcements for something like Rebirth, and it's like, holy crap, can we just not be impressed? Can we not just have a good time for once? The world sucks right now. Can we at least enjoy video games? I'm coming in pretty hard today, I will admit. We went from this straight to Pragmata, which again, another gorgeous looking game. This is from Capcom, like Resident Evil 9 is from Capcom, and both of these games are supposed to be running at 60 FPS. At least that's what I've heard. So to see a game like this, it's this gorgeous, fast-paced shooting game, and for it to look this good, honestly comparable to PlayStation 5, and be running at 60 FPS, it really makes you wonder what Capcom has figured out on their end when it comes to working with the console, and what else this console can do. Because, I mean, even this shot here with the reflections of the neon lights and the reflections in the ground and the textures alongside the fast-paced gameplay, particle effects, and 60 FPS, for me, this is a showcase. This is impressing me. We haven't seen anything like this from Nintendo in years. There's just no way that I can be disappointed by this. Also, it's a brand new game that's releasing day one on the Switch. Am I the only one seeing this? Am I going crazy? Am I yelling at the void? Are people mostly on board? Like, what is happening here? From that, we went straight into the next showcase of a game, which was this Turok game, which I gotta be honest, looks a little like, I don't know if gameplay-wise, I'm excited to play this, but I think this might be the most visually impressive game I've seen on the console so far. Almost every single shot and location they show off is full of lighting effects, what I can only assume is ray tracing. I was blown away by this being a Switch 2 game. Look at the lighting effect on this fire blast as it blows through the environment, and the whole environment lights up around it. The shadows in this shot with the realistic fire in the candelabra things. These are very intentional shots that they're showing you. It's showing off what it's doing on the console. While it might not be the most interesting looking game from a gameplay standpoint, is probably the most impressive showcase and most impressive performance and visuals I've seen in a Switch 2 game so far. Like, this really did blow me away. Then we finally have a good Pokemon game coming, and it's Digimon Time, whatever it's called. We get 4K, 30 frames, 1080p, 60 frame options, which is really cool. This game got really great reviews. It ironically came out the same time as Pokemon ZA, and everyone said that this was the better Pokemon game. I'm gonna buy it on Switch 2, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. Then another look at Monster Hunter Stories. I gotta be honest, even I'm getting a little tired of seeing this one. I feel like it's been in like 4 directs in a row now. We did get a sizzle reel of games that showed off a few things that I didn't know about, so I think that they were new reveals. So to begin with, there's Scott Pilgrim EX. Very excited for that game. Scott Pilgrim is my favorite beat 'em up of all time, if you didn't know. WWE 2K26. Again, I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but we couldn't even get these WWE games on the Switch 1. I sound like a broken record, but it's just nice. Disney Dreamlight's getting a Switch 2 upgrade. That'll make Kim happy. Tales of Arise Beyond Dawn. I started this game on one of my other handheld PCs, and I really liked it and just never finished it. I'm very excited to play through that on my Switch. Then we dive into Resident Evil 9, and we get more look at gameplay here. You can switch between first person and third person. You also have Leon, and again, if you go and watch this trailer in full 4K on Nintendo's website, the visual, like the clean environments, the only thing, again, is the hair. It's just the hair is the only thing that looks kind of rough. Everything else in every shot looks stunning, and the fact that this is running at 60 FPS, I was actually thinking to myself, when I knew this game was coming to Switch 2, I was like, I'm probably just going to buy it on my PlayStation 5 because I have the Pro. I would rather play something like this in a big way and fully enjoy it. But the more I see of this on my Switch 2, the more I'm realizing that I'm really not sacrificing too much of anything playing it on my Switch, and I get to play it handheld. I also find it hilarious that they couldn't show blood and gore in this trailer, so Leon is intentionally missing every single shot, and it cuts away before every single impact hit. This is very funny to me. And then after that, we move into the last thing already, which, yeah, I know, but it's Bethesda. They started with Fallout 4, which got a release date at the end of this month. I am actually looking forward to this because I've always wanted Fallout 4 to come to the Switch. It's my favorite Fallout. I know people like New Vegas. I don't know, it's fine. I like Fallout 4. Didn't shoot me. What do you want? Then Indiana Jones, which is, well, this and the last one really, again, showing off, and like a lot of games showing off this console's power. I don't really understand how this one is happening at all. It's a first-person action adventure with beautiful visuals that recently got released on Xbox and was developed for the new Xbox. And somehow here it is looking fantastic. Again, lighting effects, shadows, everything. I mean, draw distances in this area with these trees and even like everything all the way in the background from the industry stuff and the pyramids. It's all clean, clear, and in focus. Like this is full resolution somehow. And then the final thing they showed is a big reveal that was kept secret as far as I know, and that's Oblivion Remastered. This remaster came out last year, I believe. So this is a brand new game. They remade the game, but they kept it the same way that it was in all of its clunk and the way that it played for the most part. So it feels like a really old game and it feels dated. It feels more dated than Skyrim even. I think I preferred the more streamlined of Skyrim of it all and the fact that it doesn't feel as dated. I kind of wish they would remaster that one. But I know a lot of people are excited for this. And again, it's a game that can show off what the Switch 2 can do visually, right? This is a partner showcase. It's supposed to do two things. Showcase what the Switch can do and what the partners are doing on the console, and inform you as to what games are coming from third parties. I don't see this event or this partner showcase any different to most State of Plays or other events from other companies, other than Nintendo specifically telling you this is partner only, so you're not going to see any of our first party stuff, which that could be right around the corner. We might get another full direct pretty soon, showcasing off a lot of Nintendo's games and what we can expect for them this year. This is just a partner showcase, and I think it showcased pretty well. It just showed off what the console can do and what's on the horizon. A lot of the games that we saw are being released like this month, if not in the next couple of months. So it wasn't this huge look ahead at 2026. It was just a reminder of like, hey, here's some games coming in February and then like some in the summer. I agree that it's probably around a C, like it's very mid, just wasn't a ton to write home about. But if you actually look at the games that the Switch 2 is offering, I think there is some really exciting potential here, and games like Pragmata and Resident Evil and Rebirth might be some of the games that a lot of us spend more time in than any other games on the console. Like we might sink more hours into these games than we will Mario Tennis Fever. I think as a whole, I'm getting really burned out of the negativity online. And I know that I've bit into it over the years because negativity sells, and you learn about that pretty quickly when you become a content creator. People will click on negativity. That's why Twitter is so negative. It's why people are so negative online, because it gets a reaction, and everyone wants reactions because everybody wants the likes and the attention and the views and the money and the revenue that comes from being negative. And we've just cultivated this negative, toxic space where we just can't enjoy anything. And yeah, this direct sucked.